One of our favorite exercises that we're going to show you is a partner exercise. And I'm going to ask Dawn to come on in. And this exercise you do for the water element. The number two people, is connected to the second chakra and relationship. And we say this thing in polarity therapy. Dr. Stone says this thing that your microcosmic experience will color your macrocosmic life. So this exercise has something to it about creating healthy relationships. So there's a lot to it. It's very simple, yet very powerful. So for this exercise, we're going to be using the cotton pad. So here we go with inner child. And I'm going to get some too. Yummy.
Yummy.
So there's a couple of steps to this particular exercise, and we'll go through it slowly so you can keep up. So the first thing that you want to do is get a partner. It could be your kid, it could be your spouse, your friend, whatever. And you're going to sit together sacrum to sacrum. Your sacrum is that triangle bone at the very base of your spine. You can have your legs in a cross-leg position. You can have your legs straight out if you like. You can have your legs in cobbler's pose, Baddha Konasana, whatever works for you. I'm going to be in a cross leg, and your partner could be in whatever shape that works for them. You're going to have your cotton pad, right out in front of you because you're going to lean forward eventually. So spine to spine, and we're going to give our weight up to each other. So we're just going to lean back into each other, creating this feeling of support. And so step one is just feeling what it's like to have someone at your back without giving up your energy, without having to spend your energy. You're getting supported. And notice those deep breaths. There's a little warmth. And it's nice for you to have an exchange of, what are you noticing right now? So what are you noticing, Dawn?
I noticed that I am instantly feeling more relaxed, and I feel like my breathing sort of opened up and dropped down into a more relaxed place.
I'm feeling supported, like you said, and calmer. Like my nervous system's starting to just kind of slow down a little bit. Feels good. So that's step one. Step two is perhaps you can create a little bit of a movement. Our spines love to move. And in the work that we do at our school, Life Energy Institute, is cranial sacral unwinding. And so this tiny little movement of unwinding creates this sense of freedom for the spine to undulate, let go. And it's kind of like a spinal dance. Very nurturing, very soothing. And I like to have my students imagine seaweed on the floor of the ocean just dancing back and forth with the tide. So that's a very watery image. And you can connect into the breath. And maybe one of you is slower, maybe one of you is faster, but stay connected as much as you can. And Dawn gave a nice deep breath. That was good. Great. And then come back to center. So that's part two. Part three is going to be a little more activating for the spine. So depending on your shoulder flexibility, you'll hook in elbow crease to elbow crease. So if that doesn't feel right, maybe there's another way. No, I like the first way better. Is that okay for you? Mm-hmm. So you want to check in with your friend, your partner, the level of comfort. So if there's anything that's causing pain or discomfort, stop doing it and modify. You don't need to do this actual connection. We'll show you the variation in a second. So you're good there?
Yep.
Okay. So both of us will deeply inhale. And then one of us will go forward and the other will just drape over the spine. Oh. And again, check in. Is this okay for you?
That's good.
Good. So maybe you can't hear Dawn, but maybe you can project your voice a little without turning your head, because I don't want her to turn her head while she's face down like that. What do you notice?
I feel a nice stretch in my hips.
A nice stretch in the hips. Yes. And I'm feeling a heart opener. And I feel like I have this like human bolster underneath my spine. Oh, it's so good. And she's going even deeper and deeper. And it's appropriate for my level of comfort as well. So then we'll both inhale, come back to center using your core muscles, and then the other person gets to come the other way. So I have that cotton pad right underneath my nose, and I can smell my inner child. And my hips are getting a nice opening. And what are you feeling, Dawn?
Oh, my shoulders are opening up. My chest muscles just dropping open.
And then it feels good. We'll come back to the center. And now, if this didn't work for you to have your arms in this, you don't have to have your arms locked like that. You can still do the exercise without that. If it doesn't work for your shoulders, it's totally fine. It's different. You good?
Yeah, feels great.
And then we'll come back. And use your breath to move. It's good to have your breath take you to the next move. And since our arms aren't locked, I'm going to extend my hands out in front of me. Oh, it feels so good on my lower back. Oh my gosh. And then we'll come back to center, and I'm using my hands to come back. So here's the trick. After you're done with your swaying back and forth, stay connected to each other. Keep feeling that support and that connection. So the water element can be intoxicating. Water is about pleasure, feeling pleasure, receiving pleasure, giving pleasure. And this exercise, though very non-confrontational, we're back to back, we barely, we know each other well, but if you're working with students who don't know each other, this can be a very safe feeling for your students in a partner kind of exercise. But this is the hardest part, separating and moving away from each other. So, you ready?
Yeah.
So very slowly, we're going to come away from each other, and we're going to turn to connect with each other. Hi.
Hi.
And just exchange. What are you noticing? What are you feeling? What's new?
I feel really gooey. I feel very relaxed and just yummy.
You look really, like your eyes just went, yeah. I feel like my nervous system released, and I feel calmer and happier. So
Thank you.
thank you. So that's the spine-to-spine exercise. It's one of our favorites in our Aroma yoga classes, and you're welcome to try it. It's great partner work if you're, in a relationship with someone. It's really helpful if you're the same height from your hips to your head, though. So if you have a really big partner, you might want to sit up on a cushion or something to equal out that. So thank you so much. Love the water. Namaste.